So, namaste, everyone. A very good evening, and welcome to this session again. So, today we are going to practice working with emotions, especially our negative emotions, and what are the antidote. And we are going to learn two methods in this, okay, on how to uh, cope or manage these emotions when they arise. Because there are many situations in life in which our negative emotions, or in Buddhism we call them kleshas, Kleshas. Some of you may have heard of it. So this klesha or negative emotions, they may arise in our daily life, right? Such as even during our work, or when we run errands outside, or when we do marketing, and even when we do housework at home. So all these emotions arise so naturally. When all these difficult emotions come out, usually how do we cope with that? We try to push away, or we suppress them, or sometimes, of course, without much training, so we lash it out, or we block it. But sometimes the sad thing is we even identify them as earth, like I am anger, I am timid, I am sadness, I am depression. Okay, so all this method, of course, it don't seem to help us. It definitely doesn't free us from all this suffering. So instead, it become a cause for our suffering. But in meditation, instead of seeing all these negative emotions as our enemy, we actually learn to see them as our friends, as a support on our path. So we use them to transform our mind so that we are able to be free and liberated. And how do we do that? How do we liberate our mind without us emotions? So in the Buddhist tradition, we actually speak of five main kleshas. These are the broad category. The first one is ignorance, then attachment or desire, second, aversion or anger, anything we dislike, including hatred, so on. The fourth one is pride, and the last one is jealousy. Okay, these are the main five klesha, but underneath there are some the smaller ones that we can pack under all this, and one of those categories. So these are not, they are not seen as a personal failures when they arise, but they are just habitual patterns of our mind that can be understood, they can be freed, or even transformed. So, broadly speaking, there are three styles of working with this kleshas or negative emotions. But today we are only going to talk about two styles. Okay. So last time in our meditation, awareness meditation, we learned how to just be with the emotion. Because if we can just allow the emotions to arise, simply be with it without trying to stop them or change them, we can actually transform them by just being with them as well. So today we are going to talk about something, one of which is a little bit similar, but there are new methods as well, which I'm going to share further. So let's look at briefly the first style. How do we actually work with klesha? By abandoning through antidotes. Okay, so we abandon it through a method, an antidote. So in this approach, we don't actually stay inside the klesha. Instead, when they arise, we bring a different quality of our mind to meet it. So meaning the klesha, the negative emotions, and the antidote, they are two separate things. So this method or this antidote actually help to calm, to weaken, or even dissolve the difficult emotion. For example, like I mentioned, there are five categories, right? So when anger arises, what we do is we intentionally cultivate loving kindness and compassion. So we may repeat simple phrases like, may I be at ease, may others be safe and happy. So because when we use loving kindness, when we allow this loving kindness and compassion to grow, anger actually loses its strength. So this is one antidote. Again, we can also think about the negative consequences of anger if we allow it to be there all the time, right? Then when jealousy, if you have jealousy arise, then you can practice appreciative joy. So instead of feeling the bad when someone shines or become very successful in life, we actually can reflect on the happiness or the success of others and gently rejoice in it. So remind ourselves that another person's joy does not take away ours from the joy from ours. Or even when sometimes when we have pride, so we can practice equanimity, remembering that all beings wish to be happy and no one wants to suffer, and that we are not separate or above others. Or in this style, we are not fighting with the klesha, but we are also not feeding it. We are just training our mind by choosing the wholesome state of mind again and again. So over time, the klesha naturally become weaker and weaker. So this antidote, the positive or the wholesome state of mind, will become more familiar or stronger. So that is the first style or first method. And the second method is called transformation. The first one is abandon with the antidote. The second is transformation, which is the main emphasis for this practice today. So instead of trying to get rid of this klesha, so we bring gentle awareness directly to it, like what we used to do. So when anger or desire, jealousy, or all these other clashes, they arise, we simply observe it. Okay, so when we observe, the clash become a support for our meditation. Okay? Instead of like getting lost in the storyline, so we become the just be, stay with awareness, and just like how we hold the breath, as we look at the breath or look at the klesha closely, so we will look at this klesha actually breaks down to sensation, because when we have negative emotion, we feel or if manifests in sensations in the body. So we suddenly realize that klesha is not one big piece. They are pieces. They are sensations in the body. They are just thoughts or they are images of something that we dislike or trigger the negative emotion. And there are also feelings in it. So in this saying, the solidity of this klesha dissolve, and wisdom and compassion will begin to emerge. Okay, so we realize that klesha is not as real as what we imagine or perceive it to be. Another powerful example of this is we use the transformational approach through Tonglen. Some of you, especially the Buddhists, may have heard of it. Tonglen, Tonglen, is widely practiced by Mahayana practitioners. So when klesha such as anger or hatred arise, we first acknowledge it with awareness. We know, okay, this klesha is here. So as we breathe in, we imagine taking in the same suffering or klesha from all being in the form of black smoke. Okay, may we think or we imagine, may my experience of this anger represents the anger of all beings, or may I take in the anger of all being. So imagine the smoke actually enter our body. And as we breathe out, we imagine seeing the white smoke. We wish, may all beings free from this suffering or free from this anger. So we imagine the white smoke reaches all this being around us and they are free from the emotions of anger or any form of pleasure. So in this way, what once felt painful for us, it become very meaningful, meaning to say that our negative emotion become very meaningful. So without force or struggle, this klesha naturally transform into love and compassion. And that's how we actually transform poisons become medicine. So instead of feeling negative, we actually cultivate love and compassion. So both methods, either abandoning through antidotes or transforming through awareness or through Tonglen, they are very valuable. We can actually practice these two methods together in one setting itself. But what matters most is meet our experience, meet our negative emotions with kindness and wisdom. So I'm sure that maybe you feel a little bit confused, especially if you are first time listening to this method. So don't worry, I will guide you through in the practice itself. Okay, so before that, uh, let me invite three sounds of the bell. So you may want to find a comfortable position. So let me adjust your cushions or your seat if you need to. Perhaps just allow your eyes to close, or just relax your eyes or gaze in the space or floor in front of you, how allowing the sound of the bell to take you to this or bring you back to this present moment. So let's begin by settling the body, sitting in a comfortable positions, yet allow your spine to be naturally straight, but not rigid. Allow your shoulder to soften, your face relaxed. And just take a moment to feel the sensations of the body. And aware of the state of mind at this moment, and allowing whatever it is to be here without having to change or improve on anything. And bring your attention to the breath. Just feel the natural rhythm of the breathing. In and out. There's no need to change it in any better way because there's no better way. Just allow everything to be as it is. Take a few moments to arrive. Let go of whatever came before this moment. Simply be here. For now, there's nowhere else you need to be. And now, gently check in with yourself. Notice if there is any emotions present right now. You can even think of something or imagine a situation that sparks an emotion, like anger or sadness, or something mild like restlessness or worry. Any emotions. It may be something that you need to create with this practice. Then you can choose any emotions that arise or more dominant than the rest. For example, if it is anger or hatred or any form of irritation or impatience, once you can feel the anger or these emotions is rising, we can bring in the antidote of loving kindness. And we can think, this anger is like poison. As long as I continue to follow it, I will cycle endlessly in samsara. So from today on, I will not carry out actions rooted in anger or hatred. I truly want to treat myself and others with kindness. And I want to practice meditation rooted in compassion. And when you say that to yourself, you can even offer yourself simple phrases such as, may I be at ease. May I be free from suffering of anger. May I be loving and compassionate. And try to feel the warmth of the other's wishes, even if it is very subtle. But if you notice jealousy or comparison is predominant in you, then you try to bring in appreciative joy. You may reflect, others' happiness does not take away from my own. Joy, abundance can be shared. and try to rejoice the happiness of others and allow the heart to soften, even just a little. Or if you notice there's pride, a sense of separation between you and others, then you may even bring in equanimity and remind yourself, just like me, everybody wish to be happy. And just like me, all beings experience difficulty. So whatever klesha that you choose to work with in this practice, come up with the antidote and stay with this antidote gently. And notice how the emotion responds when met with care and antidote. So now let go of the phrases and the technique. Just rest quietly in open awareness for a while. And see if the emotions have softened or shifted or changed. Even if it doesn't matter, it's okay. Just allow everything to be as it is. And now let's move on to the second method, the transformation. Here again, we are not trying to fix or replace the emotion. We just bring a gentle awareness to it so that the emotion become our object of meditation. So once again, notice what emotions is present right now, or invite an emotion to be here. So if you have the emotion already, where do you feel this emotion in the body? How does it manifest in the body? Any tightening? Any temperature difference? Is it a strong energy or weak energy? And see if the sensations or the emotions is made of one big solid thing, or you also made of sensations, thoughts, maybe images, or just energy. Can you find the emotion? Just observe, like watching a cloud move across the sky. Just be with this emotion and see what it is made of. No pushing away, no following, just knowing. See what this emotions is made of. And as you observe, notice how this emotion naturally changes. It may soften, or it may break into pieces, or it may even disappear. So in this awareness, there is space. We can embrace and allow these emotions to be there. And next, we can even transform this klesha or these emotions into love and compassion by thinking how everyone who is experiencing the similar emotion is unhappy. Just imagine how they are experiencing suffering with this emotion, trapped within the prison of their mind. We are not the only one having this emotion. There are many people out there share the same similar emotions as well. So as you breathe in, imagine you take in the same emotion from all beings. And you may think that may my experience represents the suffering of all beings. Or may I take in the emotions of all beings. May they all come to me. And imagine everyone's negative emotions. You can choose anger, jealousy, or any form. So in the form of a black smoke, it enters you and merge with your own emotion. And as you breathe out, imagine that light or white smoke radiate out from you and touches all beings. So as you imagine this, wish that they be free from the suffering and its causes. So again, when you breathe in, imagine a black smoke representing the emotions of all beings come into you, dissolve into you, and you think, may I take everyone's emotions into my own emotion. And when you breathe out, you wish that may their emotion merge with mine so that they can be free from all suffering. Imagine the white lights or white smoke touches them and they are free from their emotion. So by practicing this way, you're making your own klesha or negative emotions meaningful. And all klesha can be transformed into love and compassion for them. So continue to do this practice a few times. Breathing in, taking in all the same emotions from them in the form of black smoke. Breathing out, you offer relief and kindness to all. Imagine they are all free from suffering of their emotions. And the white smoke touches them and they are free. If you cannot imagine the details, which is fine, the intention itself is good enough. And notice how this practice changes your relationship with the emotion. Perhaps what was heavier just now becomes meaningful. Imagine you are taking in all the negative emotions of all beings. Everybody has emotions. And you are taking in for all of them, carry for all of them. And it returns, you send them white lights or white smoke, release them from all the suffering, and they are free. So this is called the taking in and sending out, the Tonglen practice. And at the same time, notice if there is any changes of your relationship with your earlier emotion. So now gently release the practice. So just rest in open awareness. And notice the quality of your mind and your heart right now. Whatever is present is welcome. No judgment, just acknowledgement. So take a moment to acknowledge your practice, because working with emotion takes a lot of courage and kindness. And before we end, let's make a dedication that whatever virtues or goodness that arise from this practice, may it bring benefits to all beings, and may all beings be free from all their negative emotions. So when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Thank you.